Okay, it's 7 o'clock. I'm sure we'll have some people logging on here. Um, Today's session is going to be, so we're on live stream, we're also on Zoom. So hello to Naomi and Jay. I figured it was Naomi and Jay, and then they switched it to Naomi and Jay, so now I was validated. And I'll ask you guys to put your mute button on now until we get to the end. So today's session is going to be dedicated again to themes surrounding what's going on in the Ukraine. So I'd like to start off by sharing some quotes from Thich Nhat Hanh, the Buddhist monk who taught so much about power and what power truly is and what power is not. I'm going to share them. Here's a few quotes here. So again, just to remind you, Thich Nhat Hanh was a Vietnamese monk who lived in exile much of his life in France and was finally allowed back into Vietnam towards the end of his life, and taught Western form of Buddhism, or taught Buddhism to the West. Prominently in the 60s, he marched with Dr. Martin Luther King and other major figures. Civil rights movement. Was a world figure for many decades. So there's a couple things I want to share with you. The first is this particular one. If you suffer and make your loved ones suffer, there is nothing that can justify your desire. So we think about the kind of actions that Vladimir Putin has been taking in the last few weeks. You might think of it in the last few months. And this is sort of the basis of what's happening, is to make the ones who you claim to love suffer for your own desire, to bring back this faction of people, these Ukrainians, back into the fold, for your own pleasure, for your own desire, is its own sort of perversion and evil. So that's one thing to keep in mind. And we do this, of course, in our micro-aggressive ways, to use more modern parlance, as well, that we don't have to be the dictators of a large country. We can be just egotistical enough to act in a way that will make loved ones suffer for our own desire. Probably the most powerful of all of these teachings is this one. He taught, "It is my conviction that there is no way to peace. Peace is the way." And that sort of gets at all of the walking meditations that he did so often throughout his life. You'll see videos of the great monk, great as he was very short in stature, doing walking meditations with many different groups of people. And to imagine peace as a way, metaphorically, but also literally as a way, physically, tactilely, to be able to walk and be in peace. And imagine that there's no way to get to peace. You act in that manner. You simply dwell in it. And so these are very powerful teachings for us. And one more here, and then we'll do some meditation. If you miss the present moment, you miss your appointment with life. It's so clear. Mindfulness is the energy and practice that helps you go back to the here and now, so that you encounter life. And I will give you one more here because it's so pertinent to what we talk about all the time. And I was talking with a friend today just about these things. Attachment to views, attachment to ideas, attachment to perceptions are the biggest obstacle to the truth, which is a variation of the Buddhist teaching that attachment is suffering. We suffer when we continue to sort of delude ourselves into thinking we can control things that we cannot control, that we can fix things that we cannot fix, that we can heal things that we cannot heal, that we can bring those back in our lives. If only we had done this, if only we had done that. So these are some things to keep in mind, and I'm going to just play a short chant of healing, and then we'll meditate for a little bit, and then I want to share with you another beautiful text from Hosea. And as we're sort of Ukraine themed here in our meditations lately, which is appropriate, just ask you as you sit and meditate to also send your prayers to the people, so many millions of people suffering. going to sit here for a little bit. Maybe 4 or 5 minutes, not too long. Take some deep, relaxing, calming breaths. Allow the reverberations from the music to move through you. Let your body be like a gong that hums seconds, even minutes after its last strike. Enjoy the softness of the breath. Your thoughts drift away, just in a very non-judgmental way, just let them come back. Meditation isn't something that you do or poorly or well, it's really just something that you experience. It's all for the good. And if you want to try a mantra, just breathe in knowledge and breathe out humility. All those times you think, I know. I'm sure. Breathe away your knowledge like a leaf on the wind. deep breaths. And we'll share this text from Shimshai. Shimshai is a wonderful artist. I can't say for sure if he is Israeli or American or both. But what's amazing about Shimshai is that he is a blind guitarist, singer-songwriter who writes very beautiful chants about peace. And this chant in particular is called Brit. It's called Covenant in English. It comes from Hosea 2:20, which is, these words are also read as part of one of the Haftorahs during the year. The English words go something like this. On that day, or in that day, I make a covenant with the beasts and the birds, with all creatures that walk on the earth, and bow and sword and battle disappear from the land, so that all may safely rest. We couldn't possibly have a more perfect and appropriate text for what's going on right now, what people are experiencing. And so I want to share the beautiful melody here, Shimshai's song, Covenant. It is both in Hebrew and in English. וקראתי להם ברית ביום ההוא עם חיית השדה ועם עוף השמיים ורמס האדמה וקשת וחרב ומלחמה אשפוט מן הארץ והשכבתי לבטח וקראתי להם ברית ביום ההוא עם חיית השדה ועם עוף השמיים ורמס האדמה וקשת וחרב ומלחמה אשפוט מן הארץ והשכבתי לבטח. In that day I make a covenant with the beasts and the birds, with all creatures that walk on the earth, and bow and sword and battle disappear from the land, so that all may safely rest. In that day I make a covenant with the beasts and the birds, with all creatures that walk on the earth, and bow and sword and battle disappear from the land, so that all may safely rest. וקראתי להם ברית ביום ההוא עם חיית השדה ועם עוף השמיים ורמס האדמה וקשת וחרב ומלחמה אשפוט מן הארץ והשכבתי לבטח. וקראתי להם ברית ביום ההוא עם חיית השדה ועם עוף השמיים ורמס האדמה וקשת וחרב ומלחמה אשפוט מן הארץ והשכבתי לבטח. In that day I make a covenant with the beasts and the birds,
with all creatures that walk on the earth. And bow and sword and battle disappear from the land, so that all may safely rest. I make a covenant with the beast and the bird, with all creatures that walk upon the earth. Bow and sword and battle disappear from the land, so that all may safely rest. So we'll do another 5-6 minutes here on Hosea, Shimshai's beautiful, beautiful melody. Has almost messianic quality to it. But always the messianic vision includes the disappearance of war. And the recognition of God by all nations, as having one name. When all human beings realize divinity, act with the qualities of divinity, compassion, respect, humanity, vulnerability, you can see the radiance,
the radiance of another human being. War comes to pass when these qualities are hidden in a society or hidden in a human being. When these qualities are replaced by fear. A false sense of control, stability, to act as a God instead of in the image of God. And yet, in the depth of human suffering, some of the greatest humanity is revealed. all of this suffering and all of the outpouring of emotion and support and financial support and emotional support, and it just reminds me that it takes these kinds of tragedies to open our hearts. I mean, it shouldn't, right? Just look at those people suffering. Let me think. My problems are so small. No one's coming to conquer me, take my home. I'm safe. My children are safe. How do we get to that without these tragedies? I think these tragedies shock us into mindfulness, perspective. Text is from the Psalms. Create a pure heart in me, great spirit. Then renew a true soul. Soul within. Create a pure heart in me, great spirit. Create a pure heart in me. Create a pure heart in me, great spirit. Create a pure heart in me. And renew a true soul within me, and renew a true soul within me, and renew a true soul within me, and renew a true soul within. Create a pure heart in me, great spirit. Create a pure heart in me. Create a pure heart in me, great spirit. Create a pure heart in me, and renew a true soul within me, and renew a true soul, and renew a true soul within me, and renew a true soul within. Create a pure heart in me, great spirit. Create a pure heart in me. Create a pure heart in me, great spirit. Create a pure heart in me, and renew a true soul within me,
renew a true soul within me, and renew a true soul within. Create a pure heart in me, Great Spirit. Create a pure heart in me. Create a pure heart in me, Great Spirit. Create a pure heart in me, and renew a true soul within me, and renew a true soul, and renew a true soul within me, and renew a true soul within. True soul within. Create a pure heart in me, Great Spirit. Create a pure heart in me. Create a pure heart in me, Great Spirit. Create a pure heart in me. We release that power. We release that knowledge. Create a pure heart in me, O God. Lift Tahor Barali. Let us not give in to our evil impulses. Let us not give in to what the Buddhists would call the ego.
Before we end, we'll do a Mishaberach. We'll continue to do a Mishaberach every week. This terrible war rages on. Think of those that you want to pray for, whether they close relatives or the people of Ukraine. The Holy One bring healing to all of our loved ones. Healing of body, mind, spirit.
May the one that blessed our ancestors, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Sarah, Rebecca, Rachel, and Leah, bless those in the war-torn countries, hiding behind bombed-out buildings, cars, and shelters, train stations. Shield them, O God, allow them safe passage out of that terrible war zone. May the lives of the innocent be protected. Refuah Shlema min Hashemayim. A complete healing from heaven, from you. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. 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 I hope this has been a helpful, restorative, insightful, introspective session. However it affected you and helped you to deal with the stress of the world, the evil in the world, the difficulty of a terrible war, we pray will end soon, in hours, if not in days.